I wasn't going to talk about it, but I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans for those of you who are watching. We are launching. Welcome back to the vlog. It's been a while. Back in 2018, 2019, some of you OGs who followed us for a long time, we vlogged all the time. We had a videographer back then. He was actually like our first employee. And we spent a lot of time vlogging behind the scenes of Digital Wildcatters, which really consisted of us mostly switching offices like every 6 months. And then we just got busy and we stopped and we focused our attention on a lot of other content, podcast, other forms of video content. Our events, obviously last year, that was like a big thing for us. It's always been this nagging thought. I've always wanted to get back to vlogging and kind of just documenting behind the scenes. And people are kind of wondering like, what does your day-to-day look like? What do you actually do? I spend a lot of my time really at the intersection of like content, but also like how do we monetize that? And how does Digital Wildcatters continue to make money, which I'm gonna make an entire video on that just by itself. So when I sit down with companies, a lot of times, I'm sitting here and I'm preaching to them that, hey, you should be creating content, not really just even creating, more so just like documenting kind of behind the scenes, like you and what, like your company and what you do and your people should be kind of like the feedstock for your content. And I was like, yeah, it's great, but we're just like busy. I don't know how we do that. I kind of give them a hard time about it, but honestly, we've made the same excuses. And so this is me kind of committing and saying that we are bringing back the vlog and we are committing to doing a ton more video content. We're committing to releasing 2 YouTube videos a month moving forward, at a minimum, hopefully more. I want to start off kind of walking before we kind of get to running. I don't know what the cadence is going to be outside of that, but a lot of videos are actually not going to look like this. A lot of videos are actually going to be in the oil field. And so I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But first, where am I at right now? I'm obviously not at our office. I am in a metropolitan area. I'm in Fort Worth. Me and Bossel. Keeping to Fort Worth, Jonathan Cohn was putting together a Bitcoin and energy meetup at the Fort Worth Petroleum Club. Colin was supposed to moderate a panel. He got busy as we're really doing another capital raise for Digital Wildcatters. And so I filled in for him, moderating a panel with Jonathan, with Justin Ballard, Joel Fulford, Dan Morrison, and John Bick, all guys that we had in power. I've known these guys for a while. And the whole focus of this was really talking about Bitcoin mining and how oil and gas companies can leverage that as a tool. That's something that we focus on with Energizing Bitcoin podcast, me and Justin. And that's also a major focus for Empower. We had a really, really good chat. Had a really good panel, really good turnout, tons of oil and gas people, a lot of really, really great questions. And it's super interesting. I've spent, as a lot of you may know, I spent my kind of career at the intersection of this industry and technology. And it's been crazy to see just how much interest there's been and how much oil and gas is really accepting kind of to the idea of Bitcoin mining. And you don't even have to be a Bitcoin maxi or even necessarily a believer in Bitcoin, but if you understand it as a tool to be able to monetize, energy assets, it's really cool. And I think that's a testament to, the industry just listening. And I think that's why Empower was so successful last week. We had second year, we had 800 people show up in a bear market. Bitcoin is 1/3 of what it was last year during Empower. And so a lot of people that showed up were really at the ground floor of this industry, and a significant amount of those people were from the industry. Really, really cool to see what's happening in this space, and it's really cool to kind of be at the ground floor for that. So anyways, what are we doing in Fort Worth? So that was part 1. That's kind of what brought us here. We figured while we were here, we would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And so we linked up with Ben Heiselman and Malcolm Smith over at Energy Domain. You might remember Ben. We've had him on the Oil and Gas Artist podcast a few different times. We just recorded with him right around NAPE. And what these guys are building is really, really cool. And so we are launching our very first course with Energy Domain. And so we're partnering with these guys. And so the very first course is going to be around evaluating oil and gas deals. And I'm super excited about it. It's really not like a traditional online course that you would see. It's going to resemble something more like a masterclass. And so we're trying to put, our own kind of flavor and spin on things, up the production quality, make it entertaining for you guys. And so this isn't going to be just a one-off thing though. This is just going to be the first of many. And so the idea is that, we're kind of putting a stake in the ground. We're investing into building kind of a learning platform on the Digital Wildcatters website. So if there's certain kind of courses that you're looking for or be interested in kind of like upskilling yourself, reach out, let me know. Jake at Digital Wildcatters, we'll put it right here on the screen. Best of all is the plan is for these courses to be entirely free. And so because we're partnering with these companies, that allows us to be able to not charge for those. And so it shouldn't cost you an arm and a leg to be able to like upskill yourself. If you or your company have an idea for a course as well that you want to partner up on, feel free to once again reach out. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to chat with you guys. Back to what I'm talking about with content. Jake, what are you guys going to be making this year? I'm so glad you've asked. You guys have been so patient, so I'll kind of get to it. So like I already mentioned, we're getting back to oilfield content. So think kind of like the electric frac video that we did with EQT back in 2021. We walked around one of the frac sites with Toby Rice and Stephen Coe. It was me and Colin, and they were just walking us through how they think about things, all the new technology, the old way of doing things. It was super exciting, and over time, I think I spend more time kind of behind a desk than I do, behind a camera or like out in the field. And so we want to change that. We got into this because we enjoyed making content. We enjoyed making content for you guys. And so we're going to do a lot more of that. So there's really 3 areas that we are going to be focused on. First up is going to be oilfield jobs. We as an industry really struggle to attract and retain top talent. And so I would love to go out and kind of do more like a day in the life of, it could be like a roughneck, it could be a driller, motorman, whatever it may be. We want to walk through what it's like to work in the oil field, and what do these jobs actually entail. And so I think that if we're looking to attract and retain that kind of talent, I think it's cool to be able to show people, hey, here's exactly what you can kind of expect for a job like that. And that's the kind of content that I think a lot of people have been asking for as well. So number 1 is going to be focused on jobs. Number 2 is going to be focused on technology. We've done that since kind of the beginning with not only with Fuse, not only with Empower, not only with Energy Tech Nights, but also Oil and Gas Service Podcast. And now going out to the field and showcasing the various kinds of technologies that you guys are working on. Okay, so whether this is showing, a Bitcoin mining facility in the field that's operating in flared gas, whether this is going out and looking at the completely robotic R801 rig that Neighbors has, or something in between. I want to go out there and just learn about all the cool things that you guys are working on and create some awesome content around that. Third is going to be just whatever we feel like making. So it could be more behind the scenes vlogs, which I think a lot of the other content is going to have some more behind the scenes stuff, or it could just be a really cool story that we want to tell. If there's anything that you guys want to see, once again, let me know in the comments or just shoot me an email. I'd love to talk with you. Like, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.